the cell survival curve and what is LQ model, and before that we learned what is uh, cell cycle and what is DNA damage and what is DNA repair. Now we'll study the 5 factors affecting cell survival curve. This is another important question from exam point of view. Okay, so remember, when you see a survival curve, tell me if survival curve is shifted to left, it is more radiosensitive or less radiosensitive.
Be more so.
Yes, good. It will be more radiosensitive. So, with all these factors, when the question comes in exam, I always have this doubt that if the question is describe, enumerate, define cell survival curve, different factors, then describe LQ model in detail, enumerate various factors affecting cell survival curve. So in this, I it will be really great when you write, you just draw the cell survival curve and show the each factor so that you don't have to waste your time in writing. Okay. Now, just what are the different factors according to you which affect cell survival curve? What, just ping. I just want to know what all things come to your mind. Hmm. Anyone? What are the different factors that affect cell survival curve? In other words, I'm asking factors which affect radiation sensitivity. Okay. One is fractionation, type of cell, phase of cell cycle, very good. Oxygen, very good. Type of radiation. Awesome. See, you all know the answers. So these are the various factors which affect radiation sensitivity. One factor is remaining. Anyone? Enhancers. Okay, sorry. And one more. More, the better fractionation has already been mentioned. Cell type is included. The better word, Anjita, for enhancers is radiation modifiers. Species type is also done. Clue, something related to brachytherapy. Dose is there in the scale, something else. its dose rate. Okay. Now let us fractionation was the first one. Second was type of cell. Third was phase of cell cycle. Fourth was type of radiation. Fifth was dose rate. Have I missed anything? Yeah. Oxygen and modifiers. Right? Now tell me impact on cell survival curve for fractionation. Will it shift to right or left? The cell survival curve. This is under the assumption that all this is happening for photons or X-rays. The type of fractionation cell survival curve shifts to left. Okay. Yeah. So shift to right by increasing fractionation. Type of cell. Okay. In type of cell, the cell which is more radiosensitive, their cervical curve should will be towards left or right. Left. Very good. Higher the sensitivity, shift to left. Phase of cell cycle. Now G1 S G2 M. From tell me from left to right, what will be the sequence? It will be G2M, G1 and S. Okay. Type of radiation. High LET versus low LET. In other words, densely ionizing versus sparsely ionizing. Correct. So it will be left. Okay. Now coming to dose rate. High dose rate, low dose rate. mainly first basics, then we'll go on to another concept in this. HDR will be left and LDR will be right. Okay, in this, do you know a concept called as inverse dose rate effect? Okay, see what happens, even though we are considering all these concepts separately, phase of cell cycle, type of cell, type of radiation, dose rate, oxygen, modifiers, etc. In reality, they are have the cell survival curve is actually an interplay of all these factors. ओके, एक की वजह से अगर लेफ्ट जा रहा है तो दूसरे की वजह से राइट जाएगा, तो रिजल्ट इज समवेयर इन बिटवीन. सो इनवर्स डोज रेट इफेक्ट क्या होता है कि व्हेन you reduce the dose rate, we keep reducing the dose rate at specific dose rate range. What will happen, the cells are also moving at the same time. You're reducing the dose rate, so cell kills the sensitive cell cycle phases, the ones in G2M. The ones in S phase are remaining behind. Now, by the time the next dose is coming in the low dose rate range, the cells have moved towards the sensitive again from S phase to G2M phase. Now, so at that particular time point and that particular dose rate range, the cell survival curve shifts to left. Rather, they are more sensitive. So, for a particular low dose rate range, cells are more radiosensitive. This phenomenon is called as inverse dose rate effect. Okay, समझा? We will be discussing all this in detail when I start the PPT. I'm just giving you a gist of what it is. Okay, now oxygen. Here for X-rays and for high LED or densely or ionizing energy impact. Okay, very good. And for high LED, Uh, high LET, oxygen has no effect. Yes. Why is that so? A better answer than repair, no repair. Oxygen is not required for repair. Can you explain, Saujanya? Sublethal means what exactly?
Sir, in higher reality, there is no sublethal damage will be there. So there will be a direct
Yes.
damage to the DNAs.
Yeah. So the correct way of putting it in your exam, if nobody will ask you in exam, वैसे,
Okay.
but the correct way of explaining is that in high LET or densely ionizing radiations or the radiations which cause damage directly, which are not using the help of radicals, they do are not dependent upon oxygen for damage. Since they are not dependent upon oxygen, their survival curve won't be affected by oxygen.
Yes.
Okay, that's how you should explain that. The thing that needs to highlight is they are directly damaging and at the same time they do not require radicals for causing damage.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, now coming to modifiers. See, obviously modifiers is the term used for those substances or chemicals which shift to left, and the ones which shift to right are called as protectors. Okay. Okay. All this, you know what is normal tissue complication probability? I think I have explained this. You know what is NTCP curve? Because these terms are related. See that PPT is something which is there, it is common, it is everywhere. I want you all to understand all this. You know what is normal tissue complication probability curve? What is therapeutic ratio? See, as we know, with radiation or any in cancer treatment, you have to kill the tumor. In a better scientific word is tumor control, and the other concept is side effects. Okay, so for tumor control, it is said that if the tumor or your PTV receives 95%, if 95% of the PTV is receiving 95% of the prescribed dose, it is said that this is enough or sufficient for tumor control. And in other words, or tumor control is tumor not recurring. And side effects depends upon the dose received by OAR or the organs at risk. Okay. Can anyone tell me the exact definition of OAR? What's an OAR if asked? This question is for final years. If there is any final year in the group. So when you're giving radiation to breast, is rectum an OAR? Because as per this definition, organ which can have toxicity due to radiation is an OAR. So is rectum an OAR when you're giving breast radiation? I'm sorry, I don't know your name. PG, potential due to infield organ. Okay. So Pooja, potential due to infield organs. Yeah, yeah. No need to mention doctor. Yeah, we all are doctors here. Uh, okay. See, OAR is defined as an organ or and better as a normal tissue which is present in proximity to the target and the dose to which will influence the treatment planning. It is basically what you have said, but this is okay. So the researchers are now working towards finding out more and more organ at risk so that they can reduce the side effects further. Okay. So these modifiers should be acting towards the tumors and protectors should be acting towards the OARs. Okay. So now let us begin this. Factors affecting cell survival. Now coming to radiation quality. Okay, so high LET and low LET. What is, I believe you all know LET, or do you want me to take a class on LET, RBE and OER? Okay, we'll do that next session. So high LET next session. So do you want me to take finish off radio bio all topics, or mix it with statistics, mix it with some topics, and then so that it does not get monotonous? Anything is fine with me. Mix it. So next we will take on statistics. After that we'll come back to LET. So now in a nutshell, linear energy transfer. So when a radiation travels, so either it keeps depositing at small distances energy, or it keeps depositing higher. See, high LET, how it is depositing the energy, and here how it is depositing the energy. So that's how it is different. So high LET usually causes direct damage, and low LET usually causes both. So densely ionizing radiation exponential function of dose, almost straight line on the log linear plot. Initial slope followed by a shoulder region, then become nearly straight at higher doses. We have already discussed this. So cell sensitivity and radiation quality. Okay. So this is high LET, this is low LET. 300 kV X-rays and 15 mega electron volt neutrons. See how the radiation sensitivity varies for different cells, how it is almost same for others. Now coming to fractionation. Radiation therapy is not given in a single high dose fraction. It is instead broken up into multiple small doses separated by time, sufficient for repair of sublethal damage. Effective dose survival curve. Continuously repeat the shoulder portion, so survival curve becomes an exponential function of dose. Okay. See, now survival curve A is after D1. If you give D2, so this is the shoulder. If you are dividing it, splitting it into two doses, so after first dose, there will be another shoulder because you're giving time for repair. Okay. Then if you are splitting into third dose, you're giving again more time, more repair. Again time, more repair. So the more fractionation happens, the more shoulders happen to repair. And so the net effective survival curve is a straight line. And higher the fractionation, this straight line is more towards the right. समझा? See here, it is another way of showing the same thing. In a single 12 gray fraction, how it is the curve. The same when divided to multi-fraction regimen, it's a straight line. But see how it has shifted to right. Okay. Again the same exam. Now it is showing for different radiations. See, it is either a single dose or a fractionated dose. It doesn't matter for neutrons. However, for X-rays, it matters. I think the answer you know. Why is that? Hmm? Anyone quickly? Why neutrons have no effect of fractionation?
So same sir, sublethal damage it will be there in X-rays, sir, sparse ionizing,
Yes,
and
correct.
in present direct action.
Yeah. RBE, I will talk about RBE when we take that class. Okay. But let's do it that time only in detail. What is RBE? So advantages of dose fractionation include difference in recovery rate between normal, acute, and late reacting tissues in tumors. Acute normal tissue toxicity of single radiation dose can be decreased. Redistribution of cells within the cell cycle, resensitization, and reoxygenation. Okay. Any doubts in understanding any of the clinical implication? See, reoxygenation, RB and LET, any which ways we are going to do a class. Any doubts? Anything? Because I'll move ahead and because in more or less we have covered the factors. So I just want to see that I have not missed anything. Any doubts in any of these? Okay, great. So now coming to the dose rate. I used to hate this. Classic dose rate effect. See, at dose rates of about 1 gray per hour, radiation damage reduces because of cellular recovery, repair of sublethal damage. Maximum between 1 gray per hour and 0.01 gray per hour. As you reduce the dose rate further, the repair increases. See, here 107 rads per minute, 30, 16, 0.86, 0.36. As the dose rate is reducing, survival curve is shifting to the right. Okay. LDR shallow curve, shoulder disappears. Okay, so see, HDR has a broad shoulder, means you can define a shoulder. The shoulder becomes less defined as the dose rate reduces. Okay. Inherent radiosensitivity, HDR, range of rate of damage repair evident in LDR. See, in HDR, it is radiosensitive, you cannot differentiate. But in LDR, you can differentiate between the cells. Okay, they have not spoken about inverse dose rate effect here. I urge you all to read inverse dose rate effect from Hall. Please do that. It is a very important concept. Now, going cell cycle, the same. I'm not going into this. Effect of cell cycle, most radiosensitive in G2M, resistant in late S. So G2M, G1, early S, late S. Okay. Cellular progression controlled by checkpoint genes ensure completion of events prior to progression through cell cycle. At G2, cells are halted for check and repair for any damage before mitosis. So at G2, they find out that there are damages and they kill. Oh, here it is. So that is why G2M phase, because that is the time when they figure out that there are a lot of damages happened and they are killing the cells rather than progressing through mitosis. Inverse dose rate effect. As the dose rate is reduced, more efficient cell kill at point less than zero point 0.3 gray per hour. If you notice here, 0.36 rads per minute was the upper one. As dose rate reduces 142, 137, 55, 74, 154. So 55 and 74 rads has a greater cell kill compared to 154 rads. So at less than 0.3 gray per hour, cells are arrested at G2 phase, most radiosensitive. Under LDR condition, asynchronous population. Population of synchronous radiosensitive G2 cells. See, continuous low dose, it will start killing. As I explained, what happens? You continuous low dose rate radiation means under 0.3 gray is very less. Okay. Whichever, can anyone tell me what is the usual, what is the dose rate? Do you all have brachytherapy in your centers? Wherever you guys are studying? 7 gray per hour. Yes. Everybody else find out what is the dose rate. Correct. It varies with time. Very good. And the source, depending upon which brachytherapy source you are using. Correct. Very good. So recent, newly bought, yes, iridium. Usually it is iridium everywhere. Which center is this, by the way? Okay, no issues. Okay. So, uh, continuous low dose irradiation, it will cause a block in G2M phase. So, if it is blocking the G2M phase being most sensitive, you can kill the cell. Now, coming to the effect of tissue. The response depends on two factors, inherent radiosensitivity and kinetics of the population. So for normal tissue cells, depending upon the different cells, as you know, alpha by beta varies. This also, normal tissues radiation sensitivity varies. So for tumor cells, again, if you have any doubt which is more sensitive, refer to the alpha by beta table. Higher the number, higher the sensitivity. Okay. So degree of radiosensitivity, this is another. Group A is lymphoma, myelomas, neuroblastomas. Group B, medulloblastomas, small cell. Group C, breast, bladder, cervical. Group D, pancreatic, colorectal, squamous cell. Group E, melanoma, osteosarcomas, glioblastoma, RCCs. If you remember, melanoma had an alpha by beta of 0.4 or 0.6. Early and late, this we already saw yesterday. Okay. Early and late. In late, what happens? There is a repair. So that's why earlier it is to the right. But as the dose increases, it becomes straight and shifts towards the left. And in early, there is greater turnover. So it is continuously like this, straight, more or less. So clinical implication, early reacting tissues depend upon overall treatment time and late reacting tissues on fraction size. So if you want to reduce acute side effects, finish the treatment early. And if you want to reduce the late side effects, reduce the fraction size. Understood? Means I'm sure you must have come across the scenario when there is a radiation break. Your seniors must be telling कि break नहीं आना चाहिए, जैसे ही हुआ जल्दी खत्म होना चाहिए. Right? You must be coming across this situation at your centers when your seniors must be telling that there should be no break. There should be जल्दी खत्म होना चाहिए. अगर if there is a break, in fact it is okay to start a day late, but then to start and have a break. Correct? These are all things because you want to finish in time. You want to keep OTT as less as possible because there are multiple studies to suggest lesser the OTT, better the local control. And in late reacting tissues, in order to reduce the long-term side effects, you have to keep the dose per fraction less. So this is that ISO effect curve. So here if you see for early responding tissues, as the dose per fraction increases, it doesn't matter. More or less it is the same. But if you for late responding tissues, if you increase the dose per fraction, there is a steep curve. See for the spinal cord, for the skin, for kidney. Now coming to the effect of oxygen, the same drill. The biological effect happens because of the oxygen damages, and that is why greater the skin, greater the oxygen, greater the sensitivity. This is OER, oxygen enhancement ratio, that we'll be discussing in that PPT. So see here, in X-rays, as the OER is 2.5, means if you have oxygen, the curve shifts towards the left. In neutrons, it is 1.5, and alpha particles OER is 1. Mean OER is radiation dose in hypoxia compared to radiation dose in air to produce the same effect. So in hypoxia, X-rays require around 2.5 times the dose. Neutrons 1.5 times. Alpha particles, it doesn't matter. Okay. So this is a curve. This we'll discuss in that LET, RBE, OER. Hypoxic radiosensitizers. These are the ones. See, hypoxia is a big problem, and it has been thought, and that the basic reason for tumor local control failure is hypoxia. Because what happens when the tumor cells grow, the center remains hypoxic. As the central remains oxic, the periphery becomes hypoxic, becomes necrotic. You must have heard, your seniors must have told that when you're taking a biopsy has to be taken from the center and not from the margins, correct? Right? Yes, due to necrosis. That means outer cells are hypoxic or anoxic. So there is a margin between oxic and anoxic, which is hypoxic. What these cells do, they bid their time. They are neither multiplying nor they are dying. So these hypoxic cells are the ones which are responsible for failure. Because when you're done with your radiation, they are the ones which are surviving. So if at later stage when they find their sufficient oxygen, they again metabolize and they recur. So we have these hypoxic cell sensitizers. So these are the names: mesonidazole, itanidazole, nimorazole, sanazole, bioreductive drugs. Okay, so you just need to know the names. Okay, so we are done. Any doubts? Not really. They are not used Clinically, they are used only in trial settings, not everywhere because of the many potential issues with them. There are logistic issues, and the effect that we are getting, we can almost get it with chemotherapy. And secondly, because of fractionation, the effect of hypoxia is minimized. See, if it is a tumor is 10 centimeter today, big size, when we give radiation, all the sensitive cells are gone. The radio resistant or the resistant cells are the one, they receive oxygen because now the blood flow is the same. So now on next day, they are receiving the cells. Okay, let me show you this. One second, I'll show you what I'm. I'm not able to find radiobiology. Actually, what I wanted to show was that fractionation takes care of reoxygenation. So that's why this hypoxia is not a big problem. Because of fractionation, the cells which are remaining for tomorrow, they have that. I check it out the oxygenation chapter in hall. You will find out. Meanwhile, I'll also find. I must have kept it somewhere. Okay. So yeah. Chalo. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful class.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.